have a wealth of knowledge from the local scene to also, I would say, the major scene, and you have had your, you have put your stamp, I think you'll put more stamps within the industry. What advice, what would you say is something that people don't know about getting outside of their comfort zone when it comes to acting?
Yeah, it's a lot of work, but you got to find a focus. You know, there's so many options now, which is beautiful, but back when I started, it was minimal options. But now you have an opportunity, and you have to get content out there. People are getting discovered on YouTube. People are getting discovered on TikTok. People are getting discovered on Instagram with their reels. So, you know, sometimes even for myself, you know, I'm like, oh, I don't want to put stuff out there, or, you know, you have a heart to do it and you just don't end up doing it. I say go for it. Go full throttle with it, because, you know, there's no right or wrong way to do it. And at the end of the day, people are going to look for content. They want to get to know you. It's a different day and age when it comes to being an actor. It's more so entertainment. You know, you're a performer, so it's not just about you being on the screen or being on stage. They want to get kind of personal. They want to know what you're doing in your personal life. So get those things out there. There's nothing wrong with putting yourself out there, and to be in the industry, you're going to have to. So just get over that already. You know, it's not for the shy. It's not, you know, even people that are like introverts can still do it. But you got to get yourself out there is the number one advice. Don't be afraid.
What would you say as far as preparation? Because for those of y'all that don't know, that just tuning in, we just got finished shooting some great shots. You had at least 2 to 3 different wardrobe changes. Can you tell us what goes behind that before you meet up and do a shoot with Crystal Lighthouse Photography, or you meet up for a show?
Absolutely. Number one, you've got to have a headshot. You know, and you know, headshot sounds so specific, and they've kind of lightened the reins or loosened the reins a bit when it comes to the standard for industry headshots. You see they're accepting current photos and things like that, but you've got to have a look, and it's got to be your look. I remember we did Color Purple here at Cape Fear Regional Theater last year, and the director, Brian Harlan Brooks, he said, I see these headshots, but y'all don't look like your headshots. That's the wrong answer, because you're getting booked off of your headshot, and then when you go into the room, they're like, who is this? It's got to match. So, you know, your hair, you know, I always have boring hair. I always say, you know, it's pretty much always the same color, but, you know, they know that they're going to get what's on that headshot when I walk in the room. So it's very, very, very important to get that. That's the first line of communication when it comes to getting in the industry, getting in the room. And then secondly, you know, it just depends on what you're looking to do. But I always say having a video body of work, you know, having a portfolio. It doesn't have to be fancy, it doesn't have to be a commercial. You can shoot a scene, you can get content and footage and put it together to make a reel. Reels are now so simple to do. You don't have to overthink it, but that's going to also show people different sides of you, different characters of yourself, so that way they can see what your range is. So definitely starting with the photos, and definitely having some sort of video content to be able to show a different side of yourself than what you're walking in the room with.
I appreciate that response. I hope y'all were listening and taking notes. Seems like what you're doing is focusing on setting the standard and meeting that standard, because if your pictures don't look like how you look like in real life, we may have an issue.
You're gonna get called out.
That's not gonna be one of your issues. I hope it's not one of y'all issues.
Correct.
If y'all are watching and tuning in and following, what are some upcoming events and things that you have on the table?
Yes,